Hey crew, how you going? Welcome back to K2 Paranormal. My name is Jackson. I hope everyone's doing well. It's just there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world at the moment, so I hope everyone's safe and doing well. This video here, we're going to have a look at 5 spooky tunnels. They are just my top 5. They are not the top 5. They're not all haunted. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. I've made it pretty quick and brief for you to sort of not get bored with. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed and helping me with my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay spooky, guys. See you later. See ya.
In Queensland, Australia, just 6 kilometres west of Southport is the Ernest Junction Tunnel, built between 1885 and 1889, and is the last remnants of the former Brisbane South Coast Railway line, which closed in 1964. By the 1880s, Southport had become the most popular seaside destination in Queensland, with hotels, schools, banks, guest houses, and even the governor's residence by the 1890s. Ernest Railway Station played an important role in the network, being the terminus for 3 railway lines, Brisbane to Southport and Nerang to Tweed Heads. By the 1950s, the post-war petrol rationing had ended, and with motor vehicles becoming more affordable, holidaymakers in vast numbers made their way to South Coast, and by the 1960s, it became known as the Gold Coast. The Ernest Junction Tunnel is 114 metres long, 4.4 metres wide at the base, and 4.9 metres high, and runs 21 metres below the hill between Ernest Junction Railway Station and Coomera Railway Station to the north. Local rumour has it that a homeless man was using the tunnel as a shelter when he was murdered, and his ghost is said to lurk the darkness. Another spirit of a young boy is said to have been spotted in the tunnel, and also reports of satanic rituals have been performed in the area, and evidence of that exists today, which has brought dark energy to the Ernest Tunnel. So, would you put this on your list of places to visit? Located in Picton, New South Wales, and more commonly referred to as the Mushroom Tunnel, is the Redbank Range Railway Tunnel. The tunnel opened in February 1867 and was the first railway tunnel to be used in the New South Wales Railways. The tunnel is 180 metres or 590 feet in length, and is an example of excellent stone masonry for the 1800s, and after the Second World War it was used commercially to grow mushrooms in it because of the perfect dark and moist growing conditions, earning its nickname the Mushroom Tunnel. During World War II, the tunnel was used as a defence storage of mustard gas and ammunition. Originally located in Macarthur region of New South Wales, it was first explored in 1798, but wasn't settled until 1845 and established as a stone quarry, but then later changed its name to Picton. The first land grant was given to Major Henry Colton Antill, but Picton got its name from Sir Thomas Picton, one of the Duke of Wellington's generals at the Battle of Waterloo. By 1867, the township grew fast, and the Picton-Mittagong railway line was built, and the line was a feat of engineering and construction at the time. It included the deepest hill cutting in Australia. The Picton Tunnel has seen both death and tragedy over the years, the first being on the 24th of January 1884, when the decapitated and dismembered body of a man was found in the tunnel. The man was never identified. The second tragedy occurred on the 13th of December 1916 when a woman aged 51 years named Emily Agnes Bollard was struck by a train on her way to visit a relative. Reports of flashing lights, drops in temperature, ghostly children in the darkness, and even reports of Emily wandering the tunnels have been cited. Located in New South Wales is the Metropolitan Tunnel, or the Helensburgh Glowworm Tunnel as it's known, which opened on the 1st of January 1889. The tunnel is 624 metres long, and the original section was made up of 2 single line tunnels, the first being a short tunnel of 80 metres long, and then the Metropolitan Tunnel, which was 624 metres long. The Metropolitan Tunnel connected the local colliery to Helensburgh Station as a means to transport the mining produce uphill, where it would then be transported to the suburbs in the north. Apparently the town got its name from the daughter of the coal mines manager, Charles Harper, whose name was Helen. Another theory is that it was named after a place in Scotland, Helensburgh, but both are debatable. By 1883, the Cumberland Coal and Iron Mining Company took on a lease of 18,000 acres of Crown land, and in 1884 they were successful in finding coal. The first residents of Helensburgh were railway workers, miners, and families that lived in tents and rough shanties built from tarps and iron bark. By the 1890s, approximately 50 four-room cottages were built for mine employees of the coal company. Helensburgh Regional Line closed on the 30th of May 1915, but not without taking any lives. On the 13th of June 1895, a coal miner from Clifton named Robert Hales was on his way home that Thursday night when he was struck by a train, severing his leg and leaving his body terribly bruised. Reports of a young man named Griffith used a leather strap to hang himself on the 23rd of March 1897 was found at 6 a.m. the next morning. Ghostly footsteps can be heard, sightings of apparitions and strange noises coming from within the tunnel have been reported. On the outer suburbs of Perth, Western Australia, is the John Forrest National Park, who was named after Sir John Forrest, an Australian explorer, politician, and John was also the first Premier for WA and long-serving Cabinet Minister for the federal politics. A project to build a new rail line replacing the original Eastern Railway passing through Smiths Mill and Mundaring was managed by Chief Engineer for Railways Charles Yelverton O'Connor, and this project included the Swanview Tunnel. Work began on the tunnel in 1894 with two crews stationed at either end of the granite rock facing work constantly day and night until the two bores met on the 18th of April 1895. The tunnel opened on the 26th of February 1896 and was 340 metres long with a track gauge of only 3 foot 6 inches wide, just enough for the Australian standard Garrett steam train locomotive to pass through, clearing the sidewalls of the tunnel by only inches. The tunnel's small diameter, combined with a steep gradient or incline, caused smoke accumulation, and in 1896 seen the first incident of asphyxiation of the train crew, and then again in 1903. On the 5th of November 1942, when the train was again passing through the tunnel, it lost steam pressure, stalling, resulting in 3 people dying from carbon monoxide poisoning. Further cases occurred in 1943 and 1944, resulting in an industrial strike. A Royal Commission and union agitation for the locomotive's withdrawal was an issue, and by the 13th of February 1966, the Swanview Tunnel had finally ceased operation when the Avon Valley diversion opened. There was also reports of suicide, but hard to find any documentation. Apparitions have been sighted, EMFs, EVPs, and balls of light, and also strong gushes of wind have also been reported in the tunnel. Fremantle Prison sits on a 15-acre site in the suburbs of Fremantle, Perth, Western Australia, and consists of a number of buildings including cell blocks, gatehouses, premier walls, cottages and tunnels. The tunnel network under the prison includes a 1 kilometre connection to South Beach in South Fremantle and was built entirely by convict labour, and as a reward, on the completion of the tunnel, convicts had time off their sentences as a reward. However, a gun tower was located near the entrance to the tunnel to catch any escaping convicts. First constructed in 1852 were wells and a holding tank in the yard at the rear of the main cell block for obtaining and holding water, and this was done by a manual pump operated by the convicts as punishment. The total length of the tunnel covers roughly 1,000 metres and took 8,000 days of prison labour, more than 200,000 bricks and 740 barrels of cement to build. By 1888, 3 new wells were constructed and the tunnels in the northeast of the prison yard were completed in 1894. Once the steam pump was fitted, it drew 68,000 litres per hour or 15,000 gallons, which supplied the town and ships for more than 3 decades. From 1901 to 1910, the Metropolitan Sewerage and Water Supply Authority took over the pumping station, and when the prison and town were connected to Perth's water supply, it forced the closure of the tunnels. In 1986, an oil leak from a nearby tank contaminated the water. This took 7 years to clear the pollution by bioremediation. Whilst there were no recorded deaths or spooky activity in the tunnels, itself is dark and chilling, and this is a great place to visit. You can book tunnel tours at the Fremantle Prison Office. They do 2.5 hour tours, $66 for an adult. Kids must be over 12 years. Strict rules apply, no photography, hard hats must be worn, and if you suffer from claustrophobia or fear of heights, the first descent is 22 metres, a ladder that descends into the darkness. Mandatory breath tests will apply, and operates from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. You can call 089 336 9200 to make a booking.